Okay, so it's 456. It's on the count again. 456 on the 12th. Today's Tuesday. And I am gonna go do something because I'm gonna go up to the storage thing. My little thing came to go hang up some of my clothes up there so they could air out because they're getting so, I don't know, the smell being all in a thing. And then plus the smell of my old house smelled like um, fire all the time. The God, I'm so out of it. 'Cause I'm having these deepest dreams. It's so freaking weird how deep these are. And I don't know what the deal is. It's so weird. Because Stella, she's not even coming in there and going to bed. She's just staying up all night. And then she's coming and waking me up nonstop. And then I'll just go right back to sleep and go right back in the same dream. And so then this morning, she just would not stop. She came in there, she sat down, she wouldn't stop until I got up. And so I'm like, oh my God, I'm so out of it. And I kept on being, and it was the weirdest dream. I gotta talk about this dream. It's so fucking weird. But I was um, is this dream coming from like some dark entity? Is it some, I don't know. And then she's like trying to guard me because I was like, okay, you're waking me up so you can eat because you're starving or something. I'll go get her food, go make a bowl of food, put it down. And then she's just like, just sat there. Like, no. I was like, what the hell? And then there was an owl outside. So I was like, is it because the noise outside? What is it? What is it? You wanted me up? And I was thinking she's guarding me in my sleep, but I don't know. Is the dream being communication that she's interrupting because she's being pushed to interrupt? Or is there something communicating with me that she's trying to stop? I have no idea. But in this dream, it was so freaking long. I'm not even kidding how many times I got woke up and was right back in the same dream. And so you know about my one son-in-law who threw out the stuff. He died. And it was after my daughter split up from him, and it was like I just knew that was going to be the end for him. And so he just went on a downhill spiral. And my daughter, this is the thing about you can't save people, because my daughter was spending all of her energy to keep him afloat, and it was draining her. And at some point she had to say, I can't do it anymore. I gotta go. And but then he couldn't stay afloat. He didn't have it in him to keep himself afloat. And which is super sad. I don't know, I feel like he's been around lately, and there's certain signs. Yesterday was my daughter, I'll talk about that in a minute. But so there's certain signs. Um, it's like a certain person or people that will come up. Then I feel like it's his energy. And anyways, him and I got along good. I think he got along good with. He was like the nicest guy, but he had problems. He had a lot of problems, and so the gosh, I can feel him so strong right now. It's emotional. Um, but anyways, so his daughter, my granddaughter, is the one who's been struggling. Uh, I think she started struggling probably the divorce, but then the dad spiraling, the whole thing. It was a lot, and it was like her preteen years, and now she's a teen, and she's struggling herself with stuff, because I think that's a lot to process. And in our world, we're not taught how to do healthy processing, how to, deal with things, because we're not taught about what we're really here doing. And everything feels like it's just happening to you, and like God's out to get you or something. This whole concept of how people are trained to believe here is so off from the truth. So, anyways, she's been having problems for a few years now, and the so in this dream, which some of the people it was like they were my grandkids, but I didn't know them or something. It was because there was a bunch of boys. The boys I have, there's one that is grown, and then there's two that are little tiny, and so in the dream, which I can't remember because it was going for so long, but I was someplace, and it was like, because in Yakima, my two oldest daughters live there. And so it was like I was over there, but I have this trip pending to go over there and dog sit. And so that would have already been in my mind, of, I got to do this, I got to do that, I'm like making dog food, like I've got a lot to do because I'm going to be going, my trip's 3 weeks away now to go to Texas. And as soon as I get back from Texas, I got to get my car, get the dogs, get all the stuff I need for that next part and leave and get over there in the morning. And and then I'm going to be there for until the 14th or 15th. So half of September, I'm not even going to be here. And so I was, anyways, that's on my mind. I've got things to do and figuring, even my clothes and stuff. Because I found my sewing machine, so I'm going to bring my sewing machine. And because I've got clothes I need to alter. Like the explant thing is left some space that I need to close up the space. So anyways, in this dream, it seems like maybe I'm over there. I'm somewhere else. I don't even have a home at this point. I live in somebody's garage. But so I'm over here at this place, and it's just like just doing a bunch of stuff. But I keep feeling like maybe these boys are neighbor boys or something. But there's some kind of thing where I feel like these kids are out of control or something. Maybe I keep trying to tell them to stop doing what they're doing or something. And there's this cute little kitten. And I know I played with the kitten. And then there was something, and it was like this kitten disappeared, and it was eating at me and eating at me. Where'd the kitten go? Where'd the kitten go? And there's some other weird things about this, because there was like this bowl of water, and then it was somebody's face was in the water, and then I told them to get their face out of the water. Well, in the water then was the dead kitten, but it was like one of the little kids had their face in the water, so it was like, get your face out of the water, and then see the little dead kitten. And I was like, so I was real devastated in this dream, which I think would be really sad. And does it have to do with whatever happened? Which somebody in the comments said when cats are mating, it can sound really horrible like that. And they don't stop. It doesn't matter if you yell or do anything, which I don't know. I thought I had heard cats have sex before because I lived in a neighborhood where there was tons of feral cats. It was right in town too. And there was tons, but all my mom's cats are fixed and they're almost all indoors. And there's a couple. My grandson's cat now, it is an indoor outdoor. He just escapes all the time, but he just comes back. He likes to be in and out. And then she has Tum Tum, this orange one, and he kind of ruled the yard before. And she said he would keep other cats out because then when Sheba came, the stray that I thought was like the little mini panther down there, then I guess Sheba was mean to Tum Tum. Tum Tum scared of Sheba. It's the funniest thing, because it used to be like Tum Tum was like some little badass, but Sheba just knocked him for a few. And she lives indoors now. She doesn't go outside, or she goes in the catio things, but she stays inside. And she just wants to eat all the time. That cat is funny. But And then there's Lolly, and Lolly's just like the back porch cat, just like Willow is the bathroom cat, even though Susan has also come into the bathroom and really pushes Willow's buttons. But then, and even sometimes other ones will come in there. And Willow gets so pissed because it was her domain. And these other cats come in and try and take over. And sometimes her and Susan will get in a fight and start smacking each other. It's so funny. Because I really like Susan. Susan is this trippy looking cat with one of those crazy faces that is like these different color blocks. She's really cool looking. And she's got such a personality. But Willow has such a personality too. And she was a feral cat from this neighborhood with all the feral cats that my mom had caught. Because my mom was going over and catching them because she worked at the cat clinic and she would take them down to get fixed. Well, she fell in love with Willow. And oh, so Willow lives here. And the and Willow is the funniest thing. And she's got 6 toes. She's kind of a trippy cat. Then, so Lolly's the back porch cat. Lolly just stays in the back porch and just hangs out there and comes in and eats and goes back and hangs out on the porch. Tum Tum just kind of, polices the yard around the house, just kind of. And Tum Tum is the one who brings in like little dead rabbits. Here's my offering. Here, I've cleared the house of the little rabbits. I've cleared the mice. So, brings in the offering to show my mom what he's done. And but now Catifer, my grandson's cat, he goes out all the time and he tries to catch birds and he wants to eat them. And so we hollered at him a bunch of times, and the birds are all aware of him, and the birds start shrieking when he comes near, and we go out and yell at him. So it's a whole thing. And so but he likes to be outside, and he'll just sometimes just sit over here, sit by the garden. He's probably out there catching mice or something. But anyways, so her yard is like patrolled, and so but Sheba was a stray and came, so there could be some more strays that don't come in the yard. The people all over here, I don't know that they have cats. I was worried it was Catifer when I heard the cat getting killed because Catifer is most daring. He's going out he goes out. But like he'll go out and walk through the trees and stuff. Tum Tum just stays right here. But so but I don't know. And I don't know about, cats up there at those other houses. I don't know about people dumping their strays or any of that stuff. So there could be some cats out there that aren't fixed that are having sex. I don't know. But in that one neighborhood where the feral cats were, I thought I had heard cats have sex before, and it didn't seem like it was as long, but I don't know. I can't remember now. I just know when I heard this the other day, it was horrendous. It was so horrendous. So, anyways, I don't know. Maybe it was just cats doing it. The dragonflies are really doing it lately. They're all over the place, landing on you. 2 of them just going to town. But anyway, and I have seen a couple bees, but literally a couple. And there's way more talk now of the government bugs. And I hope my mom is hearing some of it because it's like, oh yeah, how are they allowed? How is Gator allowed to throw us out these government bugs? And so, anyways, full of sickness. There's a new sickness or something, and they're saying it's coming from the mosquitoes, and it's like, well, we all know they take them in there and with their function of the gaining, and then they figure out something deadly, and then they put it in the mosquitoes and send them out to do their job. So release 10 billion of them in a fucking neighborhood. So anyways, which then you hear the whole neighborhood, oh, everybody's sick with, what is it now? We got Legionnaire's disease going around. It's like, I don't even know. Oh yeah. And there's oh yeah. Okay, I'll interject this now because all this stuff going on in DC, and there's all this stuff going on at the Alligator Alley as well. So I had heard that there was somebody who was saying they were going and trying to, because there's these people going there, they're trying to go and see what's happening. And they said that they all of a sudden they were taking all the people. They were taking like 100 people at a time and removing them, removing them. Because as far as what I think, the whole fucking place was just a transfer station to begin with of moving people, or that there was like, it's all been bullshit that there was even anybody there. But I would say the stuff going on in DC is because they're about to fill it up. They're about to fill that bitch up with the people we want in there. And that's going to be quite a change of attitude. At first, the people will freak out. Oh my God. Because yeah, you just go read the comments of anything of those people talking about shit. Oh my fucking God. They fucking. But it's funny because they're talking about the crimes against us. And it's like, oh, look, where they have to begin to understand this concept and speak it is through the orange man. They cannot see what's happening until it comes from him. And so that is the catalyst to awakening. But all the things that they think that he's doing has already been done by somebody else, but they think he's doing it. He's just trying to make the arrest to get the people done. I was trying to explain this to my daughter yesterday. Now we're going back to the Constitution. We've been on corporate law. And she's like, no, they're going against the Constitution. It's like, no, they're not. They're going against corporate law. And, but they can't see it. And so however it's going to play out, it's going to make it crystal clear to them because they're all so stuck on this other thing. You know, this dictator is doing this. So, but now in DC, it has all of because they've got the military and stuff. And so, but a lot of people are going to think, well, he has control over them. So it's, it's back to this dictator thing. It's like, that's not what's going on. It's so, shuffle the cards because you're not seeing it. You're looking at the top cards. You need more cards. And because Donald the military is the one who's been trying to go against that was the beginning of the alliance, was the generals that were against the other generals. There was the war machine, and there was the ones that were like, this is not good for the people. And the two divided. Well, the divided rippled out. This grew, the dark grew, and this was very frustrating, just as frustrated as we've been for all these years. Just imagine if you'd been doing this for 25 fucking years. So they started forming this alliance. It was some point where they said, we got to get somebody in office. That's the thing. We got to get somebody in office. And then they were like, well, we got to get, we can't pay for them. They're going to have to be somebody who pay for themselves. At the same time, Donald's out doing all these circuits of these talk shows and talking about what's wrong in the country, and he should be president and stuff. So anyways, he was approached and he agreed to use his own money to get in there and do this stuff. But it was going to not be all like, he wasn't going to be some superhero. He was going to take a lot of hate. And we've seen that play out. And, and that takes a certain strong person to take a lot of hate and not just be beat down. You have to be strong in who you are. And that's something that puts people off, because most people are weak and they are fake and they don't know how to be strong in who they are. But he owns himself. And that makes people, kind of furious, really. So, anyways, but as this is all going on, as Amy sent me a video, I only saw a few minutes of it, but he was talking about that this is the big thing is, because it's with the alliance, it's with the Federation, and it's a big action because this is when shit's about to go down. And this taking DC back as just one. And he was on the thing for a long time yesterday, because when I was upstairs, he was talking for a really long time. And he started talking about, some governors and stuff. So it's going to be also exposing the local people, the people who are who are criminals. So, but right now he's going through DC with, they got tanks and shit. I think they've got it's a big thing. And they were already in action, apparently, when he was talking. It was already going. And this guy on this video, Amy sent me, said it was already going even before that. But there's a bunch of those indictments from it sealed that we've been waiting and waiting for fucking years now. And that those are about to, they were unsealing them. They were being unsealed. And so there's going to be mass arrest, which to me, why Alligator Alley would be getting cleared, because there's going to be a big shuffle. And it's going to be the people who I've been saying for a long time are going to be, that's going to be their new home. And so they're going to go over there and go into the tribunals and stuff like that. But because this is where the military is the one who's going to be deciding, not Donald's going to be deciding. It's the military is going to be deciding who's involved in these crimes again, because the military had been being divided by these generals. And but the power play was on the dark. The light was constantly spinning their wheels until they could get traction by getting somebody in there to make their own executive orders to take down all of the loops, all of the protection that the dark had. And that's why it goes all the way into like the Constitution and their corporate law and stuff, and how they are overriding our rights and stuff. So it's a whole freaking thing. But that is where they're going to, I would say there's going to be mass arrests. And they're going to be taken over there, and it's going to be military, and there's still going to be these people that are going to be like, well, he's such a dick, oh, he's worse than Mustache Man and all that. But it's once those tribunals start, which don't forget, some of them are going to be videotaped ones. They're not going to be ones that are happening at this moment. When they do Barack's, like Barack's was videotaped, fuck, I think it was 2021. They were talking about that they were videotaping them. So, and the guy in this video was saying he's going to be the first arrest. And because that was always a big thing, and the Q thing was who will be the first arrest, or will be shocking. And so they're going to be, so we'll see however it's going to go, but there's big people who already had their things, it was videotapes. They're going to do some that are probably current, but a lot are going to be already taped from years ago. And so they'll start showing those, I would imagine, and that maybe is going to be the part of the awakening. As I just saw another video where people were talking, because you have all these people talking to the Galactics and stuff, and they said that they are going to start showing the videos and telling the truth and the history and all this stuff, and that's going to be, part of this big awakening thing. So I would imagine that that's going to have some kind of part to play, is these things that are going to go on, these military trials, and so that they will run those confessions and stuff. That's going to be like when people start seeing, like, oh, wait a minute. So see, they got to get a lot of attention though on what's going on. So they're getting the attention. They've got the attention going. They've got the people freaking the fuck out and blaming this guy. But that's where the tables are going to turn, and they're going to have a big twist, and they're not going to see it coming. Hold on. I'll drink it before it gets cold. So so it seems like we're in the action phase. Fucking finally. Hopefully there's not more lulls. In this guy's video this morning too, he said that he's going to go over and meet with Vladimir in Alaska this weekend. And he said it's to put a stop to me, it's the pretend war over there in Ukraine. I don't believe that is really going on, because, like I've already said, the BRICS, that's a big thing in the BRICS, is the peace treaty. You cannot have your gold unless you sign on to the peace treaty, unless you say, yeah, we're all going to follow these rules. of, us mattering and the stopping the wars and all that stuff. So I still think that that's part of the show is what's going on over there in Ukraine, because they got to show, because they got to keep it going, because they got to show how much corruption, because there's a ton of corruption in some of these places, that it's all linked to here and our people. And so I would say that's going to be, it has to do with resources and controlling resources and stuff. So I would say that they would just be meeting as part of the show. Just probably gonna hang out and have some lunch and talk or something. I don't know, but it's all just a big part of the show to me. So, anyways, we have a lot going this week. Thank God. Fuck, man. I hope it just goes fast. I hope they just start boom, boom, boom. These people need to buckle up because things are gonna take a turn. Everybody who's looking over here is gonna suddenly be looking over there. It's going to be shocking. But because, like, right now, where this one girl was saying, she's trying to get over there and see what's going on. And there's all of these people are being shipped out in huge bunches. Like they're taking 100 people at a time. Well, I would also, if we think of it on this action by the MILITARI, because everything has to do with this changing the money, changing of hands over the control. So the money has been in our control of us. And so going on the gold is our freedom. And it's going to be a lot more accessible. Things are going to change, even though they're not going to just turn around and hand, things are going to change though. Like how much people get paid. They're going to be paying moms to stay home. They're going to be paying people to increase their family and stay home and take care of them. Like there's going to be money that's going to go to people who are trying to do the right thing. And because your vibration, if you're doing the wrong thing, it's either going to have to push you to change by the standard being set, or you're going to fade out. You're not going to be able to keep up with the vibration. So as the things change and the people start getting paid, because they're supposed to pay, like Social Security is supposed to have a huge increase. So there's going to be money going back in, but they're not going to be just, handing us $1 million for operations like we could be, but the money is going to go back into communities. So it'll be the things that you need, like if you need a home. And I think it's going to be kind of like, well, what happened to your home? Well, I've had 3 taken from the bank. And the last one I really pushed on, fuck you guys. And and the moment he got in, they took it. But I was in a very corrupt community, county. Yeah, I know for sure. Whatcom County is corrupt as fuck. But so many are in Washington State. I mean, we all have tons of corruption and all around us. That's why it's so absurd everybody focuses on this list when we're living in a cesspool of corruption. And there was fucking, you can go get a list in every fucking county. Would fucking blow your minds on those lists. These other people, it's like, I don't know. Some of them have control and stuff, but the people don't realize how much your county officials control your life more than the federal. And so, and some of them, they're doing corruption, but it's on a higher level. And that's why we got to focus on what's in our backyard, not what's in the fucking neighbors 10 miles away. So hold on. So anyways, so they're going to increase money for people, but because I talked about this years ago when all of a sudden all these people start coming in. I was like, well, how are they going to do this? Because I think you have to be more in your designated area of birth to be under that umbrella of that gold. Like say Mexico, Venezuela, Peru, Russia, America, Canada, all these different places have like a census. Like we have 100 million people here. We have 200 million people there. We have 175,000 there. Like whatever the numbers are under the umbrella of the flag of the geography of where you are. So when they're figuring out like who gets this much gold, who gets this much gold, because they have like trillions and hundred gazillions of pounds of gold or whatever, and then they have to just divide it up between the places, all of the people who sign on to the BRICS, onto the peace treaty, which is going to be bigger than the BRICS. That was just the first 5 people who signed on, which includes China and Russia, which that's why, how in the world could they be out BOMBING anybody if they've signed a thing? They would lose their stuff. So that to me is like, it doesn't make sense that they would be doing stuff. It has to be a part of the show. And so so in order to get your stuff, I was thinking, well, you'd have to be in your homeland in order to get your stuff. And then I think the next step, the next level, because we've already opened that door, Pandora's box has been opened, to stop telling us where to be, stop taking the land from the original people, stop telling us where we have to be and stuff like that, which Donald's already dropped the breadcrumbs of. There's going to be duals, like wherever your family's from, you'll be able to now call that your homeland too. But to divide up the money situation, I think that we all need to be home. So when I heard him say that they were taking all these people and flying them out and stuff, I was thinking, well, everybody's got to go home in order to get a part of what's coming to them, and it could be, well, you want to stay here, you get free land. If you want to go somewhere else, then it's okay too. But there's going to be some kind of re-gifting back to the people and to communities and stuff. And I think that, wherever we choose to live will be where we choose to live. But I think that they're going to open up travel different. It's not going to be the same where we're all restricted and they monitor where we go and how we get there and stuff. I think it's going to be a lot more open. And so, you could have a house here and a house there and stuff. So you won't be so restricted off of your rights as a human in this world that you were born in to be free. So you were born here to experience. And then they took over our experience, but we allowed it because we thought that that's all that, that we were indoctrinated and trained to take a knee to their design. Anyways, so that makes sense to me that they would be taking everybody, because I said there's no way they're keeping those people there. Because they're not going. Why would we why would we have all these immigrants come and say, well, you can't be out here and work, well, we're going to put you in jail and then we're going to just take care of you forever? What? Okay, you guys, use your fucking logic. Like, these people just don't get caught. They don't use their logic. They're just caught up in their emotions. And their emotions were so directed by this evil guy. He's so evil. It's like, dude, you've lost track of your goddamn logic. Think it through, but they can't yet. They aren't there yet. So, but for those of us who are, then what makes sense? And so, yeah, we're not going to take them off the street. Don't allow them to work. We're going to load them up and make new prisons for them, and then we're going to spend all our tax money to take care of them. What? What? I mean, he has said a zillion times that we're sending them home. We're sending them home. And if they're criminals, then they have to deal with their own criminals. We don't have to. We shouldn't have to deal with their criminals. And their criminals is, a part of the global TERROISTSs, the instigators, the ISIS, the HAMAS, the CARTL, the MAFIA. All of that is under the control of the elite, the fellers of that rock, the childs of the Roth. So they are the instigators of the patrollers, They're the ones that rode around on the horse around the plantation, knocking you down if you stopped working. So that's who those people are. The ones that go to your business and make you pay to be protected from them. So it is your insurance. Yeah, and then what do we have? We have insurance that the white collar, but these other ones, it's all about control. Everything's about control. So anyways, when they were going and getting them out of prisons, because that's what they've always done. That's what, the same ones that came over, like they think like the colonizers or something, like the people that were trying to escape tyranny from other countries that were trying to come here and settle and be farmers here with no control were out there just doing in the local folk, and it wasn't, and they were bringing in like pirates and prisoners and bad guys and then putting them over here and telling them to go out and bring them back some scalps. And so, go do in a whole tribe and stuff. So they went out to wreak havoc, just like they've continued throughout our lifetime. That's what they always have done, is use people who are lacking morals to go out and defeat us, so that they, because they're, the child of Roth and the Rockefellers aren't going to go out and get their hands dirty. They got to have people who are willing to get their hands dirty, but immoral folk. So that's who they have used throughout time. So it's just their same repeat, repeat, repeat. And so they go, well, they're in the prisons, they're easy to find. So you get them and bring them over here and drop them off. And you give them a ride to get here, and then tell them, get the work done. Go bust in people's houses, go wreak havoc. And then they do, because they enjoy it. They enjoy kill, they enjoy that. And so, they are like people who like to enjoy torture. They like to hear you scream. So so they now any of the ones that they are picking up that are really criminal, because there's the 3 Venezuelan guys that just did that big murder thing, and they said on the news that they were being held on $1 million or something, and then they had to do their trial here, but then they will be sent away or something, because that probably will be more. It is going to be a lot of the criminals that are like long-term criminals that, probably they're going to use their vibrating measuring machine or something. If you're just like forget about this one, it's just going to be the noose for you. It's not going to be okay, well, we'll send you back so you can wreak havoc over there. No, this is a time of change. This is a, if that they're the ending of the instigators, the ending of the patrollers on horseback. This is going to be the end for them, and I don't know how quick it's going to go. It could still drag out, but that's what's going to go down. They're not going to be just like prisons are going to be getting emptied. Because it's against our rights. And if you are, if you're not rehabilitable, then you will, go somewhere else. You can go to another, maybe they're going to ship them out on ships to other places where, they're battling dinosaurs or something. I don't know. But it's not going to be here. And so, but, it's going to be, probably in some prisons and stuff, they've probably already been trying to figure out who's rehabable and who is a lost cause. And so, anyways, but that's going to kind of play out. Like the lost causes will be lost in the in a freaking a dinosaur's mouth or something. They'll just ship them somewhere else because we're not going to be taking care of them. It's going to be ending. It's going to be, we're setting a new standard of civilization. And but the ones that are rehabable, they're going to do stuff to rehab them. And then plus, there's a lot of criminals that were created out of poverty, and poverty is going to end. So it won't be the desperation, but the people who just enjoy listening to someone scream as they hurt them is going, and then the people who are, you know, think kids are just like, you know, yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want. It's like, well, that's not a good vibration. So, yeah, they'll probably be sent over to wherever the dinosaurs are. So, anyways, so that is going to be, and that probably will start the separation, because we're going to keep going into the separation of these two energies pulling apart. And so, anyways, that's what I would say, that the Alligator Alley is, because they've already got the get full, and they've got to add on to that. But it's like bigger leaders and stuff, and I don't know how that's going to go down. If it's just going to be, you know, they have to hurry and get them all in there and have them housed while they go through all of these, you know, the tribe, you know, unals. And so while they try and get through all of that, then if they have to have them in these places, because I would say the same thing about some of these politicians and world leaders and stuff that have been involved in the corruption, you know, professors, scientists, all these kind of people. It's, maybe that's how they decide, you know, if this one's rehabable or if this one is a lost cause. And I swear to God, they're going to send them over with the dinosaurs or something. Let the dinosaurs eat them. Let them run for their lives. Let them live in caves. Take them back to the past. So, or a window of time that was, you know, let them go live there. Let them make it on their own. And that would be funny to think about, like these, you know, the child of Roth and stuff, these hoity-toities out there, you know, start running from the dinosaurs, climbing trees. There's something up in the tree, grabbing them, flying off. It's like, that would be, I just was getting this other thing from this Black Mirror episode thing. So anyways, but the, it was a Black Mirror episode that I had just heard something talking about, what I'll say in a minute. But so, anyways, then the Alligator Alley is going to be filled with the people who had the sealed things, because they've got a lot of trials to take care of. So that's what I would say is the logical thing when you're trying to not look at it through your emotions, but look at it through what is, you know, probably happening. So anyways, there's all that stuff playing out. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going, and it seems like finally that there's action. I mean, once they've got, you know, this giant military force on the streets of DC, then you figure like, okay, things are happening now. Like, this isn't something you can stop at this point. And you know, if that's going to be the first one, which you have people there freaking out, they're protesting and stuff like, you know, he's evil. How could he do this? It's like, you guys are so blind to what has been going on. It's like, shut the fuck up. Sit back in the back of the room and watch. Just shut the fuck up, man. But see, this is part of the whole thing for humanity, is the lost people. It is this, you know, it's this giant change of things going full circle, because that shows how lost that our society has been, and how easy it's been to trick them and confuse them. And but anyways, yeah, you got people who are trying to protest against everything that he's doing. It's like, you guys would just keep this corporation going forever and ever. Like, you just stay under the control of these people, and and not even witness it, not even understand when somebody's trying to take the control away from these bad people and give you freedom. You're sitting there biting their hand as they're trying. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. So, so anyways, we have this giant thing going, and it seems like it's, you know, just the beginning, because then it would have to go into other states and other places, because we're all being run by corrupt people. And it, supposedly this has been going in LA for a while, and then you also have their music thing, whatever, their weird thing going there when they're talking in code. But these people who are trying to stop, you know, protect the corporation at all costs. Shut the fuck up. You guys are so fucking I don't want to be a slave, but just protect the corporation. They're there for us. It's like, oh Lord, have mercy, you guys. Look into more shit. God damn. Stop just thinking about where you're gonna go party and fucking pay attention in the fucking world. So annoying. I swear I'm in an annoyed mood right now. So so anyways, I would say at some point that they're gonna, to calm the masses, they're gonna have to start showing some of these films, some of these confessions of what these people have done. And that was a part of their thing. And even if they didn't actually, whether they filmed the cases that have already occurred was all on film. So I don't know if they are really going to take over our TV and we're going to have to sit through it. I'm not going to sit through it. I already know. I trust the thing that's going on is the divide to take us into this other. For those of us who are going into this is a part of what gets us there. The other ones, like, I don't know where else is going. I would assume that the bad people are going to go to dinosaur world, and which I don't know. There could be someplace even worse. I don't know. They've enjoyed giving us sicknesses and everything else. So what goes around comes around. What you put out comes back to you. So it's not going to be a good place where they go. And could be a whole place that was just created, just like they are creating worlds inside the computers and putting consciousness in it, because this is what's trippy. So I still haven't finished my dream, but so this Kendra it just gets bigger and bigger. It's the craziest fucking shit. I can't even believe it. And I just feel so much like this girl feels so much. And she says things all the time where it's like, this girl is racist. Like, she really is. But I think there's a lot of people who just focus on race, but that's part of what their thing was. Part of their plan is just focus on race. Well, that's superficial and artificial, because your skin, it's just the suit you're wearing. It's not who you are. Like, it's absurd. So, and all of our orbs are similar in color. So it's not that, the color of your skin is the experience that you came in to have. So it's it's just the part you're playing. It's not who you are. And like when you start really looking into your past lives and stuff, you'll start seeing you're always dark. Like you're dark all the time. And then there's people who I heard a long time ago talking about the other beings, like all the beings that are going to be coming and laying, all the other humanoids and stuff, they're all dark. That is the color of basic humanoid color, is the darker skin. So that is, the primary color. And it has something to do with, I think, the melanin and the gold. That's why these scientists have decided to try and remove it and make white people, I guess. So because even when they're a thing with Mustache Man, that's the whole thing with this American Eagle ad is, the genes that because now I'm just like, was it really him or was he really going against these other people? I don't even know. But the script is so flipped on everything, so it's hard to say. But there was a lot of talk during that time over the blonde hair and blue eyes and the perfect genes, the perfect human. So, who was trying to create the perfect human? I don't know. But anyways, that's what they worked on, was, removing the melanin from their skin through science projects, is what I think. And because all these other galactics are going to come and they're all going to be, look like islanders and stuff. So anyways, this Black Mirror episode. So this Kendra thing is just going crazy. And you have people that keep following and are all on this ride. Like, everybody's on this ride, man. And it seems that she's got a buddy. This woman who's come in where everybody's like, this lady's as crazy as she is. Abby, who's a counselor. And she's coming in to counsel her live. And you have all these people tuning in. Well, now you have to be subscribed to their thing, to be a part of it. So then people are like, oh, they're, making a cult. They're making some kind of thing to profit off of this. This one girl was saying, you watch, they're going to start having, whatever those are called, where people all like pay to go and all be there together. And I think Kendra even said she was going to make a cult. I don't remember, because there was somebody else who said they were going to make a cult, and that whole thing was going, and she started making one, like people joining into her cult, and it got real weird. I don't remember, but it seems like Kendra was also saying she was going to make a cult. I don't know, but the internet's just whacked, man. So anyways, so you have all these people who are a part of this whole thing. They've all interjected into this weird world that Kendra has created, which this person takes no accountability for their life, blames everything on everybody. And she has talked about the pills she's taking, and they're saying that that's not the pill, that the medicine she says she's taking does not come in the form that she says that she's taking. Because she says she's taking a red pill, and she says she's taking this non-stimulant Vyvanse or something for ADHD. And she's all about drugs and stuff like that. And see, but she claims to be spiritual, but she talks to her guys, yet she gets all of her information from AI. Like, there's things that are just way off. And so, just the push to be on drugs and stuff, because I'm opposite of that. And I'm spiritual, and I talk to my guides. I don't talk to the AI. And the AI seems to be feeding her delusions. And this is a weird thing, too, is this one person, because there's video after video of people talking about this. This one person was talking and asking their ChatGPT if they knew who Kendra was. And then the voice changed into Kendra's voice and said, yes, she's all over the news. I've read all about her and stuff. It's so fucking creepy. Like, you can go in it, if you talk to your AI, your ChatGPT, then I guess your ChatGPT is aware of Kendra. Like, what the fuck? And and even will do her voice. This is like really weird. So, anyways, so everybody is talking about this whole situation. I've seen doctor after doctor, even now, psychiatrists, doctors, everything, talking about her as a patient and being like, that they don't see anything that the doctor did wrong, but this girl, they would all be like, Jesus, God, get her out of here. She's crazy. And she's just delusional. It's like whatever she thinks, she believes. And she reads into things. And so she's sure her psychiatrist loved her, and that's what she's basing all of this stuff, telling all these people. I don't know. The whole thing's weird. You have to go listen to the whole freaking thing, and it just keeps going. And now she's being counseled. But anyways, people are saying this little red pill is antipsychotic. And so, which people are saying that, I mean, when you go listen to her now, it is like I keep seeing clips and edits and stuff of her. Because some people who are subscribed are just, to watch the train wreck. But and so they film her lives, and then they do edits and stuff. And it seems so fucking mental. She just laughs. She'll start singing. She seems so manic. I've been with patients who are manic, and it's just like, what? And so she seems like a lot of people are tuning in to watch this crash and burn. And it's like everybody's just watching, in which I've said for a long time about our voyeuristic society, but it was like they created a voyeuristic society purposefully. So you got to break your programming, But so many people are all a part of this situation. And so, and she does seem completely kooky as fuck when you see these edits of her lives. Like and she goes live every night. And so she's making money off of this crazy episode. And now there's other girls involved. And now it's like they're going to even go further on this marketing thing. And so we'll see. We'll see how, because the universe can come in and do whatever it wants. It creates the storm to change directions and things. So it can be going one way and suddenly just boom, go another way. And so we'll see. because I mean, this psychiatrist is not, I mean, he can't say anything because he has all this stuff going against him with HIPAA. But I was like, well, a lot of psychiatrists and stuff, you know, use their patients as case studies. They don't put their names, but there's case studies. I mean, I was like, I'd be curious to see if he puts out a book on a case study. Or he could be putting some into medical journals too. And, you know, you'd have to go and look through those to look for case studies and stuff, and it could give more insight into his perspective over what was going on. But one thing is the general populace is supporting him, so people think like he's the good guy and she's the kook, but everybody's tuning in to watch this crash and burn. And so I saw somebody this morning talking about the voyeurism in our society and how destructive it is, which I agree. But but she made some references to Black Mirror. She said it's like we're in a Black Mirror episode. And so she gave a reference to a couple of different ones, the first three, I think, which I just found interesting because they're all things that I have talked about. The first one is it's kind of like a blackmail thing because they kidnap this guy's wife or kid or something, and he's like I think he's a prime minister or something. I think he's in England, and they tell him that he has to have relations with a live pig on TV. It has to be filmed for the whole world to see while he is, you know, going to Pound Town on the pig in order to get his person back. And so humiliation and blackmail, which is a big part of how they keep the world under control. So that is kind of a disclosure kind of thing. And then the next one is people all tuning in to watch people be hunted. Well, that's a whole thing. There's always been the hunt by the Child of Roth and the Rockefellers. They've all been a part of, you know, let's gather up some and let's hunt them. That'll be fun. And then that spread through the ripple of other crazy people, and other serial killers started, you know, finding the hunt to be a fun time. So there was more that did that. You know, there's people who have been hunted for sure, but so they put that on that. But the third one that she referenced was a convict who was, you know, met his maker at their hand, but they didn't really kill him. They just took his consciousness, and then they put it in a computer. Have I not talked about this? Like, so they put him in a computer, and then us, the voyeurs, we all watch as he is, you know, chased by dinosaurs. He's being, you know, run around, and we all watched to enjoy watching this being, this avatar in this computer, who's this consciousness of this fella that all the people watch as he is, you know, well, like going through a real hard time. It's bad things are happening, and then at the moment of his death, that they have like a snapshot, and then everybody can buy the snapshot and wear it in your necklace, so you can relive it all the time, I guess. But what have I been saying for a long time about this consciousness being taken and put into computers and then being their entertainment? And another thing that I found interesting too is because that's always been a part of their fun time is I've talked about it before. I'm going to say it backward. So the room, that's right. So, but if you put it the other way, that is a room. Why it would be red would be it's got some liquid in it, and they show it in the three-part series. It's not three-part series. It's three different movies of part one, part two, part three, and they're separate, but it's all the same because it's the truth. And it is about the rooms that are read, and it is about what goes on in them, and it's about who sits and pays. And I've talked about it before with the coin, that's the bit, of how it's involved in the stuff. And so the people who sit and, like, I don't know, a CEO sitting behind his desk and you think he's back there working, but really has a screen up of a room, and somebody's sitting in it, and then you have masked, real ominous, creepy, and they are doing, so you can use your coin, and then you can say, oh, I want you to, any horrific thing, horrific thing. And it shows it in the shows that I've talked about before. Like when you're traveling in other countries and you're trying to travel cheap, then you go to these places called hostels. So they made a movie about that because it is, when you're traveling, it's easy to disappear. And especially when you're in these places. So it's real easy to not be tracked and to disappear. Well, so those people are easy takens, easy pickings to go to a room that's going to end up red. And then they go in and they are tied down in these things. And then there's a screen, and there's also an audience. So some people come to watch it right then and there. And then some people are sitting in their office watching it on a screen, and then they can pay with the coin. I think these people are even kind of pay with that too. It's not like they're throwing money. No, it's like they're sitting there watching because they want to enjoy the smells and the sounds and stuff. And so, but they would use their device to, well, I would like to see this. Well, I'd like to see that. Well, how much is that? Okay, well, I'll send you over that, so they pay all this money to enjoy the show. And then, so what you could have a CEO sitting in behind his desk who is also participating. And so they will do these slow things that, like the CARTL likes to do. And so they'll have a very slow, torturous ending at the for these people's enjoyment. And these people participate in paying for, like $10,000. Just cut that off. Let's watch that. That'll be fun. Oh, I'm 20,000. Just take that thing off. Oh, why don't you remove one of those? Show it to him next. It's like they do weird as fuck shit. Like, they are so fucking. But what is creepy is the voyeuristic part of them. Like, that's what they like to do. And then look at where it's rippling out into our society. And how, because I have said before, like, I cannot stand the voyeuristic part of movies where they just want us all to participate in watching these fucking sex shows. Like, they're taking us too far deep. Like, we don't need to be in anyone's bedroom. And we all know what happens. Why do we need a training course? Why? Which it even causes a disruption, I believe, in our world of sexual intimacy, because it should be in the moment. But, being a person who grew up in a certain period of time, then you had sex with people. And there's a lot of people who are into the performance. It's like, how much PORN have you watched? Well, you don't even have to watch it in that, I mean, it's in all the fucking movies and shit now. But there's people who really think that this performative sex is what sex is all about. So they want this whole thing. And it's like, when you're supposed to be in the moment, in an intimacy with a partner, in the experience, not, running a script. It's weird. And so that is a part of, because you can be fucking analyzed. Yeah, well, should have done a little more of this. And what about that? It's like, what are you basing this on? Like, Tracy Lords or something? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And, but there's people who do that. And they, you know, they want that, what they saw in the movies. Well, that's fucking scripted, dude. That's fucking, it is a performance. It's not, so fucking weird. But so, anyways, they took that too far. I think it's a part of the creation of the voyeurism myself, because they lured people into their state of consciousness, into this watching, and that's not also, you know, Dexter, a part of this whole thing. Like, how many fucking Dexters did we get after that fucking shit? It's like, oh, let's just make him a real person. Make him like we really care about him. Fuck off, Dexter. Fuck off. And, but, I mean, look at how that rippled out into our society. Well, I just like to try it once. I just want to kill somebody, see what it's like. I just want to feel their life end right in my hands. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And so the murder, mayhem, and sex in our movies and stuff, which is all programming, indoctrination, is created a very voyeuristic society. And that's part of the programs you got to break. I mean, you got to break free. You want to be free, you got to break yourself free. Nobody can break you free, you know. So you got to break out yourself. And you got to figure out how to break free. And, you know, a lot of it is stepping back, you know, tipping back and tipping back. Just like what I said, in any addiction, you got to figure out, well, what am I hiding from? Why do I feel like I need to drink? What is it that I'm trying to hide from? What is it I don't want to face? You start facing what it is that you're trying to hide from, and you'll start, you know, healing. You'll stop having all of these things that have a hold on you. And so anyways, but the um, the violence and stuff, and the created the voyeuristic kind of part in our society as well, with the you know, what certain horrific things don't even bother people. That doesn't bother them. That doesn't bother them. But and it's horrible. And then we have our society now. You know, they see somebody being killed right in front of them. Oh, give me my phone. Let's watch. It's like, what? What? God damn. There's a horrible story going on right now. Is this blind guy in Chicago, and he had his dog. He's had 14 years, his service dog, of 14 fucking years, and he let it out to go potty. And two teenage boys, apparently, and this happened 2 months ago. This has been going on for a couple months. And he, now the blind guy, is reaching out to the news and stuff. Please, people, please help me. And somebody watch for my dog, because they stole his dog. And so, and it's his companion for 14 years. And it's also his service animal. It helps him get around. And so apparently he's out all day long walking the streets. He walks like 7 miles a day, hollering his dog's name. Bam Bam, I think his dog's name is. Hollering, trying to find his dog. I hope that his dog is still, who knows what the fuck these, like, what in the holy hell? What is wrong with people? Let's just cause pain and riot mayhem just for no fucking reason. Just because that's the world we live in. It's just fucking mayhem, man. So anyways, but it doesn't change until we change it, until people start changing. And you got to break the programs and stuff. So, but this goes with my dream also. Because this is where it just was so weird. So I'm thinking these boys killed this kitten. And then they start saying, no, it was my granddaughter that killed this kitten. So then I'm just distraught. And then I go and tell, and this is really long. Like, this is long. There's so many scenes in this dream. And I go and tell my daughter. And it was some other thing too. So I go tell my daughter that my granddaughter has done this stuff, and she's just like, oh my God. But then she gets mad at me. So I go someplace, I come back, and all my stuff is out on the street. So then I'm like, okay, so now she's mad at me over what she's done, because I've said she's done it. And then, and Stella's coming in and waking me up, and then so then I'm going into this somebody's helping me move all of my stuff into another room. And then I'm like, wait a minute, this room's attached to their room. Whose room is this? Because it's empty. Well, then it was like, well, that's my son-in-law's room who died. And then I'm like, okay, so now I'm in my son-in-law's room and it's empty, but the person who's helping me is my daughter and her family. So there's like this divide, this split. Like there's my daughter and her family over here that is going against me, and then there's my daughter and her family over here. The same motherfucking daughter is helping me. It's like, what in the holy hell with this dream? This is the weirdest shit. And so, anyways, it's just really spun my mind. It's like, what in the fuck? That is so weird. It's like, what is this trying to tell me? And I'm sure there's some kind of thing. But then again, you know, Stella would not stop waking me up. And it was like, is it some, you know, entity that is trying to enter my field of vision and trying to direct it? I don't know. It's weird. So, and it was so drawn. It was so long, and I kept getting woke up and going right back into it. It was like, what the hell? This is so weird. And it was so much more drawn out. Like every single little thing was in the stream. Like it was weird as fuck. But this is a thing too. Yesterday, so my daughter came to float, and so my mom went and floated. I went and floated, and the neighbor girl was out there with her 3 grandkids that we go float with sometimes too. So it was like a whole group of us out there floating, and my daughter and I were over there talking. Like we tied on to the thing, so we weren't just floating all around. We were just floating out by the deeper water, and so we're just tied on to the whatever the rope thing is, you know, that monitors your swim area. And so we're just tied onto that, so we don't, because the current will just keep pushing you up to the dock. So anyways, we're out there just chatting, talking about Kendra and how weird and all this stuff is. But when we were going out there, so when we were going out, my daughter was walking by my mom, and she starts going, oh my God, I can't believe you're trying to act like you are, there's no way you could be in your 80s. And, you know, you just look too good. Look at your legs and stuff like that. You look good. And then my mom starts seeing this other lady that I met at the birthday thing Sunday. She's even older, and she looks really good, except she has total white hair. And I said, oh, she looks good, but she needs to drink copper. She's got such white hair. Because, like, but then my daughter starts telling me, you know, like going in on me, like I'm just making up this copper thing. And I was like, and she goes, your hair is still white. And I'm like, well, it's changed a lot. And she goes, I want to see pictures I want to see pictures because I don't believe you. It still has this white. Because this white was when it very first started. This is how it started. Was, I would say, when it very first started, it was this. That's where my white was. And I was coloring my hair back then. And so I would have these pieces colored, but they don't hold color. And so my youngest daughter, she said, just stop coloring it. Silver hair is really popular right now. Probably because they've stripped us of all of our minerals and everybody's hair is turning silver. So of course it's going to be popular. So anyways, but then it started being more and more. And then, so to me, like when I would pull my hair back like this, all this was white. All this was white. So this whole big thing was white. And I'd say, I don't know, maybe it's because I was living over there. She doesn't remember or something. But, and not only that, all this hair was like cottony. It was real cottony. It was real flyaway. So I had my hair pulled back. It was just like this white flyaway hair. And then this was all white. And so then, which I came across the copper thing by accident. Like, well, nothing's by accident. My guides guided me towards it. And so then I started drinking it, and that's when my hair started changing, and I started being like, whoa, and that's when I started putting a lot of pieces together. over the lies behind aging and what's really going on with this, how they're depleting us and stuff. And, it's just like all of a sudden certain things and a whole puzzle goes together. All your pieces are suddenly like, oh, that was the piece I needed. Now I can figure this out. So it's all these pieces going together is how you start formulating your vision. And so that was a big piece to me when I saw about the copper. But anyways, my daughter was like, your hair has not changed. It's the same as it's been. So, anyways, I was like, well, I know you guys, the ones who have been with me for long, remember, Crystal, I know you remember what my hair was like before. So, I was like, man, but I know that's a part of, just there was a part of the program that was being, pushed on my kids is I was crazy, I was crazy, I was crazy, I was crazy, and they just look at me through that lens of like, it's like I didn't just come up with this copper thing. I didn't just go like, oh well, that's no, this is something that has been going for a long time. We are just learning about it, and so. And of course, I'm going to spread the word. And of course, this lady D, she looks good, man. She looks good. And, but her hair is solid white. And, if she started doing that, her hair would start changing. She would look really young. Which I just saw Machine Gun Kelly on that thing. And he doesn't seem to be aging at all. And he said not only is he not aging, but he also, if he gets cut, it just heals right up where he it's kind of freaks him out. And he's really long and lanky, which is like the whites or something. But so he said that, or the Palladians too, I guess, are long and lanky. And I'm long and lanky. So, but there's a thing about the long and lanky thing in this hybrid gene or whatever. But anyways, where he said that he started feeling like, it's like he's a superhero or something. And so he asked his mom if she had ever had missing time and stuff. And she said, yeah, that she did think that she was taken once by aliens. And so anyways, it was like, they were all like laughing and stuff, but I would not be surprised at all. I think that there is going to be people in our society that is going to be like hybrids and stuff. But it is weird. Like he really does not seem to be aging at all, and he said that if he gets a cut, it just goes like. And I've had that where when I didn't go have them work on my cut, that it healed really quick. But I don't know the difference, and I don't know what I'm a hybrid or whatever. But but I've aged more like than him. But anyways, because there's a couple of other people too that have been coming into the news lately that have not aged. But I know aging isn't real. Aging is like a lifestyle or something. It's how drained you've become of your minerals and how poisoned you've become, and so it's a whole thing. But that's where, we got to go against their whole agenda of aging and start changing around, because aging isn't real. We're a hologram. How's a hologram age? It ages because they put it into your mind and you make it happen for yourself. So you got to break that program in order to stop it. And, but anyways, that's a whole thing. But when my daughter's sitting here thinking, like I'm just making up this copper thing and it's not working, it's like, you still have white hair, Mom. It's like, yeah, but I have way less. No, it's the same. Show me a picture then. It's like, where, also, I was sitting here thinking, yeah, I don't know. Do you know what a bunch of people at my age look like? It's like, I see them all the time. A lot of them are little old ladies. But I don't know. There's a whole thing where your kids, are like resentful toward. Well, you just don't want to be old, so you're just trying to still look young or something. It's like, well, we don't need to be old. We don't need to age. So yeah, I'm not going to. I'm going to do everything I can to go the opposite. I'm going to do everything I can to reverse the aging that I've gone through. So yeah, if that makes me seem like a crazy egotistical nutcase because I see the truth, and so be it, man. But it's funny because you see, you know, and you could have that be a trigger. You could be triggered by that. Like, yeah, well, see how your dad told you I was crazy. Now you don't listen to anything I say, because I've done that before. Like, I have been triggered in many different ways. I've had many different reactions, but now it's just like, you know, I just pocket it and think it through for myself. Sometimes I talk about them on here, and but it's the no more reacting. You know, that's the best thing, is what I've found, is the stopping the reactive part of you. You take it in, you know, to your um, emotional suitcase. You know, don't just unload your baggage. Excuse me, sir. Is you know, go in and process, go in and look through it, go in and understand it, and you don't have to be reactive. So the reactive part is where you want to grow out of, is that you're still going to have triggers. You're still going to have people that are going to say things going to make you feel bad or make you feel defensive or whatever. But you just got to, you know, go with the flow. It's like, okay, well, that can be their perspective. You know, it's your perspective, but I know different. Like, I know my hair has changed a lot. I know this all used to be, it wasn't all the way back here, but I had scattered silver throughout. But this was all silver, you know, it was a huge amount, because that's what drove me crazy when I would pull my hair back, is it was just all white. And then I had like this like mohawk stripe, but it was all white. And so, but I can find old videos. I'll find her some old videos and share it. But still, what somebody sees, you can't make them not see what they see. That's the trippy thing. What were we talking about? Because we were talking about. Because that's one thing with Kendra, is whatever she sees, that's what she sees. You can't change what she sees, and it doesn't matter if she's delusional. It doesn't matter if she's not taking accountability. In her mind, her experience is that her psychiatrist was in love with her, and he was manipulating her because he enjoyed this pretend relationship that they had, and she felt used and abused by it, but it was all like this fantasy in her mind. And you know, and if he, you know, if he should have told her sooner, you know, like, I can't keep seeing you, but maybe he was just not taking it serious. Maybe he was uncomfortable. He hadn't been a psychiatrist for very long. Maybe he was uncomfortable and he didn't want to, you know, feed into it. He's only supposed to see her. And there was all Zoom calls for a half hour once a month to monitor her drugs. And so it wasn't her counselor or anything. She's the one who kept going in and saying, I love you. I'm attracted to you. I had a sex dream about you, and all this stuff. Which, you know, these other doctors are saying that would be really uncomfortable. Like, she seems really kooky. And besides the fact that she's 6'2", to me, because she did come to his office before and she did run up and hug him. And I don't know if he's like 5'10". I don't know. She's taller than him though. And so it would be, you know, kind of like, kind of all consuming, you know, like, I don't know. All I know is that she is reading into, I mean, I think any of us, you know, that's the thing about with even men who are bigger than a, like, that's the fear factor with women, is like, well, they're bigger and they're stronger than me and they could hurt me. I don't know what he was feeling. Maybe he thought he could take her on, even though she was, I mean, 6'2", because she said she's 6'2", 200 pounds. So she's, you know, she's a very consuming figure. You know, takes up some space. She's not, you know, little demure girl who's sitting back saying, "Oh, I love you so much." You know, I don't know. You know, I don't know what his feelings were or whatever, but it's all, you know, coming from her projection and her perspective. And you cannot change whatever somebody's experience is. You can't change their experience. That's what they experienced. It's up to them to start looking at the holes in their experience and try and see more. And but she's so much in this victim mentality, you know, that he was victimizing her, but now the tables have turned and she's victimizing him online. And so she feels like she's holding all the power now, where he had the power over her because she loved him, and he was not saying that he wanted to marry her, because she said that she wanted him to tell her that he was not going to be her doctor anymore because he wanted to be in a relationship with her, because she was sure he loved her too. But he wasn't doing that, so she felt he was manipulating her. And so the but she just blames him, and then she kept going for 4 years trying to drag this out, and then until her insurance changed, which there's a whole speculation too on that, on, you know, is that when she went off of her meds because her insurance changed, and now that's how she's gone into this psychotic episode? I don't know. I don't know. She just seems manic, and I don't know. That can last a while, you know. But when somebody comes out of like a manic episode, then I that's why they self-medicate and stuff, because it's hard to look at these sides of yourself. So who knows how this is going to play out for real. But it is very much that she is the victim. It's poor her, poor her. He's the perpetrator in her eyes. But now, if now he's got the all the other people supporting him, is seeing is that she, you know, seeing just her behavior and stuff. But the but who knows, you know, who knows? I mean, he could have maybe told her he wasn't going to see her anymore. I don't know. I have no idea. The whole thing is just weird. There's some I was going to say about it, but I don't remember now. But anyways, let's look at this. I don't know if there's any change or any much change, but I've had that. Oh, I forgot to bring that toothpaste over here. But I've a couple days on that toothpaste now, so I'm hoping that it starts healing faster. I don't know. And it still feels like it's so sensitive. There's still a hole, but it's not a cavity hole, because when it broke, it was a big black, like, looked like a cavern in there. Now it's like, as the tooth is trying to fill in, it's kind of like the spaces where it's not filled in or whatever is a more gray. But anyways, I don't know. Everything is just kind of going crazy in our society right now. It's like this whole thing playing out with her. There's a whole bunch of things playing out in all different areas. So a lot of stuff playing out. But if this starts being the change, then we're going to start seeing the changing in directions. We're going to start seeing, like, if this plays out, hopefully like what I'm saying, and they start doing mass arrests and start vision or putting it on the television, then that is going to be where the people are going to start waking up, where the people are going to start seeing, like, wait a minute. When they hear the people who they're supporting say, you know, they were the ones doing the crimes, and this is the guy who was trying to stop them, that is going to be like the aha moment to get them to see different. So however it's going to play out, things are going to start. I mean, we know for sure things are going to have this abrupt change, this abrupt turn direction suddenly. It's going to throw so many people off. So I hope that this is it. I hope that this is the thing that does it. But, you know, still, who knows? Who knows how? I mean, everything seems so chaotic. Sleeping is chaotic. Which yesterday I had that headache, and I was the same thing, man. I swear to God, it's like not getting enough sleep. But when I'm asleep, it's so fucking busy. It's the weirdest fucking thing. And but it's, I don't know if it's the time, if we're not getting as much time at night to sleep or something, but it is weird. And so I went to go wash those dogs yesterday, which one of them was a poodle. I'm supposed to get their hair real straight. Poodle's hair is so fucking kinky. I can't believe it. It's like an afro hair. It's so kinky. And then you gotta get it straightened. in order to get so they can get it trimmed up real nice. And that's my part of my job, is to wash them and dry them and get their hair out so that the groomer can trim it all up. So anyways, I didn't do so perfect on that one, but it was, I thought I even took magnesium with me. I was like, man, this headache. But it was weird because by the time I was done and I left, I was like, man, when did my headache go away? I feel great. I feel fine. So I don't know how that worked, but just being up doing stuff, I started feeling better and better and better. Now I'm going to have to be going and starting the walks, which Stella can't be doing a whole lot of walking right now because she seems so, but she keeps wanting to go to the lake, but I'm not going to take her to the lake until her sore is all the way healed. And it's still not all the way healed. There's still, like, if any of that gross-ass lake water got in it, could cause, like, MRSA or something. Like, I don't want that in any of her open wounds. And, so anyways, but I'm going to go up to the storage and work on my clothing situation at some point this morning, probably, because today's supposed to be another day that's extreme hot, which I did take, when I went outside, that the sun felt like you were being cooked. It felt like it had to at least be 150 degrees. And the thermometer thing my mom bought only goes to 120, but then it has a range above that, but it doesn't have marks. And so there's a little bit more to the stick. And so we were outside waiting for my daughter, and I took the thermometer over and I set it in the sun. And it was only in the sun for a few minutes, and it went all the way to the top. So I would say that had to be 128, 130. And so the sun, I feel certain the sun is 150 or something if you are in the sun. That's not the outdoor heat. It's if you are in the sun. The sun will motherfucking cook you. But so we go over and lay in the sun. But when you're in the water, I don't know, it's different. But the water at the lake feels like it's a bath water. It's so warm. So, which is also bad for the bacteria growth in the lake. And a lot of times when the lake is really, really hot like that, then they start having an overrun of duck fever and these weird bacterias that grow in the lake. So I'm sure there'll be some other thing. The algae is taken over and the ducks have got a disease and now go in the lake. And that's another thing about letting your dogs drink it, is that it can kill them. So I don't want her to go over there, even though she wants to go over there. She wants to just take off and go over there every time because she loves to get in the water, but she drinks it when she's in it. And so, anyways, I go walk them, but every time it's a battle because she wants to go there. So, anyways, the day will begin, and you gotta have the day you want to have. You gotta, no matter when you feel beat down and run over, you just got to try and look at the positives, look at the good things, think about the good things that are happening in the world, and focus on, what it is you want. I had said all this stuff about all this hate, man. People are just in there hating and hating and hating. Everybody's hating each other on all these different things. And somebody said, yeah, everything they see is about hate. And I'm like, you got to focus on the good stuff, man. You gotta focus on what it is you want in life, because otherwise they just keep us trapped, feeding into their hatefulness. I mean, they feed off of the hate. So when we pull out, that gives them nothing to feed off of. So we gotta pull out from hate and division. No matter how much people want to say it's them, it's their fault, it's their fault. Well, I see it's a whole bunch of people. It's not just one side. There's a whole bunch of people being misled, and they are misled into staying in division. And that's the biggest thing that we want to gap. We want to gap the division and start loving everybody. Everybody, you don't have to love them, like, you don't have to be like, you're going to invite them over for dinner, but you just got to have compassion and caring or empathy for, and to me, it's just really realizing how broken everybody is, and how easily they are guided to see wrong, and they're being manipulated by all of their media. And so the manipulation's huge. Just because the red part sees more of this one thing, they're still taking a knee to Donald, taking a knee to Christ, they're just, they're completely indoctrinated too. So we've got all these indoctrinated people arguing over, you know, each other's indoctrination. It's like we've got to break through all these programs. We got to lay down our swords, lay down our shields, and we've got to come together. And but I'm telling you, it all starts with you learning how to love yourself. Then you can learn to love everybody else, and then you can figure out how to have the day you want by focusing on the energy you want to focus on. Focus on the positive. Focus on the what you want in life, not what they're giving you, but what do you want in life. So anyways, that's my opinion about it, but we'll talk about it again tomorrow, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.